Cross-cutting issues such as gender equity and social inclusion can be rolled out across the National Public Service through the practice of mainstreaming. Gender mainstreaming seeks to produce transformatory process and practices that will concern, engage, and benefit women and men equally by systematically integrating explicit attention to issues of gender into all aspects of the organization's work. Mainstreaming requires all levels of the organization to consider and address the different needs of gender equity and social inclusion at each point of planning, implementing, monitoring, and evaluating an agency's activities. The aim of mainstreaming is to achieve equity and equality for National Public Service staff and the people of Papua New Guinea, ensuring that all women and men have equal access and control over resources, decision-making, and benefits. The United Nations Economic and Social Council Agreed Conclusion 1997-2 defines gender mainstreaming as the process of assessing the implications for women and men of any planned action, including legislation, policies, or programs in all areas and at all levels. It is a strategy for making women's as well as men's concerns and experiences an integral dimension of the design, implementation, monitoring, and evaluation of policies and programs in all political, economic, and social spheres, so that women and men benefit equally and inequality is not prolonged. The ultimate goal is to achieve gender inequality. The philosophy of mainstreaming can be extended to people of diverse language, ethnicity, cultural background, age, religious belief, and family responsibilities. It can also address inequity brought about by differences in educational level, life experience, work experience, socioeconomic background, sexual orientation, marital status, and disability. The Gender Equity and Social Inclusion GESI Toolkit outlines 4 basic steps of mainstreaming. Step 1. Identifying the existing business processes and how it is done from start to finish. Step 2. Use the GESI policy and values as a guide to identify where gender equity and social inclusion can be included at each step. Step 3. Capture what was done in steps 1 and 2 and work to permanently reflect GESI principles and values in practice and policy. Step 4. Make a submission and obtain sponsorship for your mainstreaming in order to have the process recorded for future use. In the National Public Service, mainstreaming activities are focused internally and externally. Internal mainstreaming focuses on creating, enabling, and sustaining an equitable and socially inclusive working environment. GESI principles must be considered and taken into account when developing and implementing legislation, corporate and strategic plans, agency programs, policies, guidelines, codes of conduct and behavior, performance management systems, leadership models, reward and recognition, recruitment practices, complaints processes, and feedback mechanisms, conditions of employment, training, budgets and expenditure, and organization and salary structures. Here are some examples of how gender and social inclusion initiatives can be mainstreamed internally in the National Public Service, ensuring candidates are adequately assessed on competencies that promote gender equity and social inclusion in the appointment and promotion process. Payroll analysis to identify any differences in conditions of employment and remuneration. Ensuring all employees have equal opportunities for training and development in the workplace. Providing adequate training and development opportunities such as GESI refresher and awareness training. Actively promoting and encouraging participation in GESI and social justice events such as White Ribbon Day, World AIDS Day, and International Day of People with Disabilities. integrating GESI into the delivery of services into the community by partnering with organizations like P&G Deaf Association in order to better understand the services they require. Understanding gender dimensions in the public service by capturing and monitoring the workforce demographics and statistics. External mainstreaming focuses on ensuring equity and social inclusion considerations are extended across national public service goods, services, and programs delivered to the community. This not only ensures equity for all when accessing government services, but allows us to role model best practice to the community in the way we conduct ourselves and our business. This in turn encourages change in the community and establishes our image and leadership in this area. GESI principles must be considered and taken into account when designing and delivering programs and services to the community. Typical considerations include ease of physical and practical access to services, style of community consultation, personal security, communication strategies, monitoring and evaluation of services, openness to feedback and change, and commitment to best possible GESI practice. Education policies and strategies that encourage girls to attend and remain in school and make it easier for all members of the community to receive equal opportunities to receive an education. Working to assist hospitals and medical support services to assist victims of violence and those with disabilities. The retraining of police and other law enforcers, such as magistrates, to prioritize and address gender-based violence. Ensuring all members of the community receive equal opportunities for education and health and employment. Mainstreaming initiatives can be utilized to prevent and respond to gender inequity and social inclusion. Through careful consideration of policies, processes, and practice, the National Public Service can promote gender equity and social inclusive behaviors in their workplaces and through service delivery to the people of P&G.